By the end of the 19th century, the valleys overlooking the Dyfi estuary had only seen small-scale exploration in the search for profitable ore. This was to change around 1871, when a Mr. Mason started digging below adit level and looked to install an underground water wheel to raise water and ore back to the surface. Within a few years, a new, larger diameter shaft had been sunk down to 30 fathoms, and over a mile of leads led across the nearby hills, bringing water to the site to drive a total of 3 large diameter water wheels. A 22-foot wheel for pumping and winding the new shaft, a 30-foot wheel to power rock crushers, and a third at 18 feet for driving processing machinery. Just 6 years after starting to develop the site, Mr. Mason and his partner hosted a banquet in 1877 for notable dignitaries to draw attention to their investment. However, it could be said that more effort had been focused on presenting the appearance of a profitable mine to attract investment by shareholders than had actually been spent trying to locate a rich vein worthy of mining in the first place. It was to be a further 14 years, and after a change of management, before the mine actually went into proper production, and even then, across the next 6 years of operation, all records show it only produced 9 tonnes of lead, 10 tonnes of zinc and 45 tonnes of copper ore. Even today, it is possible to see secondary deposits of blue azurite and green malachite underground. Revealed again in the 1970s by members of the North Cardiganshire Mining Club, the most notable feature still found at the mine is the 16-foot diameter water wheel installed underground 150 years ago and still in remarkably good condition given how long it's lain abandoned. The overshot wheel was powered by the weight of falling water directed to it from above and would have been transported underground in sections before being erected in the chamber where it worked. A crank on the end of the wheel's central axle would continuously drive the water pump via a chain whenever the wheel was in motion, whilst a pair of gear wheels reduced the rotational speed and via a drive coupling would operate the winch drum. Although the support structure for this has collapsed, the drum itself has been stood up and placed in approximately the right position. A lever-operated clutch would disengage the drive from the water wheel to the winch, and then a band brake would hold the rope steady and allow a controlled descent. The smaller drive gear that would have been on the water wheel's central axle is missing, possibly suggesting it continued to be used for pumping after winding ceased. Positioned behind the wheel, and also driven by the crank, is a small balance bob. This turns the fore and aft motion driving the water pump through 90 degrees, allowing a weight box to help counterbalance the pump's drive chain hanging down the shaft, although its size does feel a little out of proportion with the weight of the chain. Located nearby is the original shaft. This has flooded since pumping stopped, but the rising water main is still in situ along with timber supports. In the 1970s, a small sheave wheel was still positioned guiding the pump chain down the shaft. By the early 2000s, this could be seen leaning against the wall of the chamber. However, in more recent years, this, along with a few smaller artefacts, have since gone missing. The Lost Mines YouTube channel have recently sent a submersible camera down the shaft and shown the sheave wheel now rests on timberwork 13 foot down, clearly indicating someone thought it sensible to push it down the shaft. Their underwater footage also shows a nice line of trucks in a side level at a depth of 56 feet.